team. What's up, guys? Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys had a good weekend, a good Memorial Day. If you barbecued, celebrated, watched some baseball, was a cool little extra day off. Get recharged, get prepared for this week. And hey, you only get a shortened regular week, and it's even closer to the weekend for those of you grinding the 9 to 5. Shout out to the live chat, QA, Sway McThunder, Jacob Fraley, Neville. Appreciate you guys already being here. This stream, we're going to go game by game on tonight's baseball slate. Looking at the DFS angles, obviously DraftKings, Fanduel, but I also want to get a little bit more of the prop betting angles. I'm not going to force any prop plays here, but a slate this robust, there's got to be some spots that we really do like. So I am looking forward to getting some of this work uncovered, and then after this stream, it's going to be the debut of the new WNBA program, which right now has a prop focus, but maybe that'll grow, maybe that'll evolve. We'll see. So let's get under the sheets here, under the hood, and start doing a little bit of research. You guys know I like to do this like completely open book. I'm gonna be referencing the RunDFS.com MLB VIP spreadsheet throughout the duration of this stream. It is a tool that I've coded and created over the past 6-7 years, and every year it just keeps getting stronger. Recently soft launched the updated version for this year, made some tweaks to the bomb detector. I don't know that I've done a baseball stream with the new bomb detector yet. Cleaned up some stats, like I created a true fly ball metric, which thinned down the fly ball percentage that the bomb detector was going off of. So as an example, I took fly ball rate and I subtracted infield fly ball rate, and I call it true fly ball rate. I'm not sure why that's not already a thing. It should be, and that way it kind of took out a little bit of noise, so it hasn't really impacted the numbers a ton, right? The top guys are usually still the top guys, but it's just something that tightened up a little bit. And then I've slightly taxed guys that might be a little bit more strikeout prone in their matchup, and then I am thinking about creating a separate column for overall home run opportunity, which would more so consider the bullpen, but that's going to be a lot more variant. So we'll see. Anyway, that's behind the paywall at RunDFS.com. And then, of course, we've got the free Discord for all the prop stuff. That is in the description below. So where do we get started? So every slate, especially these big slates, I like to get a pulse on weather. And for my money, I think that rotogrinders.com/weather/MLB is probably the spot you want to be, man. Kevin Roth, legitimate meteorologist, so I just take his word for it, and that's where I base a lot of my decisions when it comes to weather. So looks like trouble spots. Angels, New York, says low chance of a stray shower causing a delay, highly unlikely anything ends up over the ballpark, so not gonna go forward with any concerns there. Washington at the Mets, probably the same exact. Cincy at Boston, says look at the temp here compared to most East Coast games, 50s versus 90s, colder air, harder to hit homers, likely any rain they see would be light enough to play through. All right, cool. Padres at the Cardinals, look like storm should hold just west. That's good news. Brewers at the Cubs, we're going to see explosive storms. Jesus H. Explosive storms here just north of Chicago during the game, and late game it's possible those build south, cause some issues right now. However, my expectation is that most all of the game is played with the storm still north of the ballpark. All right, cool. And then Coors models show a line of rain just sitting on Colorado. If it were to shift 5 miles north, the game would be fine. If it were to set up where models are showing now, it's a wash. So there's a fine line between great and postponement. Right now, I'm leaning the latter. I'll need to see some modeling. All right, so it looks like Coors is the biggest concern, and obviously Coors is always a point of interest on these big slates here. 7:40 first pitch time. All right, cool. So I'm gonna keep that tab open. If you guys don't have this bookmarked, you probably should. I'll put it in chat. I have, I'm not affiliated with that, but I think that's a really good resource that you should have bookmarked. What up, Jay? What up, X is joining Run DFS soon as PrizePicks puts that cash in my account. Cool, man. Hey, X, aren't you the homie from Africa? Like, literally from Africa? Like, you literally live there? If so, I don't know that Run DFS, I'm just being honest here. I don't know if Run DFS would have a lot of value to you since it's more daily fantasy sports centric. Unless you have access to DFS over there. I don't know, but I just figured you didn't. So I just want you to know that it's more DFS centric. If you're really just here for props, I think your best bet would be just get a channel membership through YouTube and then unlock the the YouTube channel member stuff, and it's a lot cheaper that way. Yeah. The Mets bats racking it up again. They might. Man, last night Mets popped off. I was heavy on Brewers and Dodgers. And and Red Sox. Red Sox dead to me, man. How could they? All right, let's go game by game here. Let's start adding some teams to the spreadsheet. So the first game we're gonna do, get it out the way. It's the Angels and the Yankees. We don't have a confirmed Angels lineup. Usually don't until later, but maybe we will get it at a decent time today since it is one of the first games that goes. You hear that? Joe Madden. Andrew Velasquez, little homecoming narrative for you narrative lovers. Kind of a homecoming for Thor, but not. Yankees lineup is confirmed. DJ LeMahieu in the leadoff spot. Aaron Judge, Anthony Rizzo, Miguel Andujar, Matt Carpenter, Isaiah Falefa, Jose Trevino, and the 9-hole hitter, Joey Gallo. Are you saying Joey Callo or Joey Gallo? All right, that's confirmed. So, obviously still a watered-down Yankees lineup. No Stanton, no Donaldson. But this 1 through 5 still pretty strong in my estimation. And then Matt Carpenter has already got a homer, and then he just hooked one foul in Tampa. So he almost had 2 bombs, and he's certainly somebody that could take advantage of this short porch here. So I wonder how that swing plays here. So I even though this lineup's watered down compared to what it could be, I still think there's some reason to be here. I also like guys like Isaiah Falefa and Gleyber Torres, and even some, Judge has a stolen base on the year. There are some sneaky stolen bases here the jury's out. The verdict's out on Noah Syndergaard, right? You get on base, you can run at will here, and we have definitely seen the Yankees run. So Yankee stack will still be in play for me. They have a really timid implied run total of just 4.6, but I do like the idea of them in Yankee Stadium. Maybe a little bit of sticker shock on the 5.4 for Judge, 5.3 for Rizzo. People look at the recent scores in Tampa. Tampa's just a low scoring, and the Yankees never do much there. Getting back here, maybe you can make something happen here. And Noah Syndergaard has certainly allowed you to put the ball in play. Just a 17% K rate so far this season. Like I said, if he lets base runners on, allows stolen bases, and then this bullpen for the Angels below league average in home runs per 9 allowed. So maybe some quality at bats later. So I will have a little bit of interest in the Yankees. And then going against this Angels team, Jordan Montgomery, I probably do sit this one out on a 13-game slate. Typically, I always assume Montgomery's overvalued by the field. At 8K today on DraftKings, I'm looking for 16 to 20 fantasy points. Let me get a brief look at all of the pitchers on today's slate. Some of these big slates give you a lot of aces. So like Gossman, Lauer to an extent, not so much. Giolito, tough matchup. So I tell you what, for a big slate, there's really not names popping off the page here. So the reason I look at that is because if you get a slate that has a Garrett Cole, a Scherzer, a Gossman, a Bieber, you know what I mean? Like 4 or 5 aces. Then you start kind of presuming or assuming that you're going to need 25 plus from your pitcher spot to make some noise. And I think on this slate, we might be able to settle for a little bit more average run-of-the-mill results. Obviously, a shot at 20 fantasy points at any of these guys under 9K is probably my goal here. So this is not an ace-filled 13-game slate. So with that said, I wouldn't talk you off the ledge at AK on Jordan Montgomery. I don't have any high hopes. I also say Montgomery's also been one of the, and this is completely like, it's quantifiable, but it's not. It's happenstance. He has not had a lot of run support to scoop and score some dubs. But at AK, it's reasonable enough that I wouldn't talk you off of it. But I actually do like a couple of these Angels bats. Anytime you get Ohtani at Yankee Stadium, sure. Mike Trout, sure. And then if Taylor Ward cracks the lineup again, he has been a really, really dangerous bat. So I wouldn't hate a 1 through 3 run right there. Maybe we'll see some swaps and switches here. And then remember, this Yankees bullpen still kind of dinged up. Chapman's been on the IL. Chad Green's had to go get Tommy John. Jonathan Loaiza's still trying to find it. The Rock has been Clay Holmes. Everything else bleeds red. Michael King is elite. His last outing was a little sus, but it's not the same super shutdown Yankees bullpen. And as a response, we've seen these Yankee starters be asked to go a little bit longer, a couple 7-inning, 8-inning games out of them. So maybe Jordan Montgomery's leash is a little bit longer. But with that said, I probably don't have high hopes and aspirations for Thor and Montgomery. So I think from where I'm at right now, I'm not going to put either one in the player pool. I will, perhaps out of a little bit of biasness, I'll throw some Yankee stacks in here. And then depending on what this Angels lineup turns out to be, I might get to some Angel stacks. I definitely will have Ward, Ohtani, Trout in the player pool. You can never not have them. But when I'm thinking stacks, I'm thinking 5+ onslaught, lineups that I can rotate through. I don't know how often I'm getting to like Juan Lagares, Luis Rengifo, guys like that. So I'm going to hold off on whether or not I'm going to add an Angel stack to the thick of it. And then, like I said, I wanted to go through each game and kind of get an eye on the props for these games as we go game by game. So just out of curiosity, what's on the table for the Angels? So the home run prop is Trout, Ohtani, and Taylor Ward over half a home run. Those three are just always interesting no matter what. Because, so let's make a little list here. And we'll have to find a way to order this. So let's go. I call this the home run triangle. Let's put pitching outs as well. Let's put pitching strikeouts, hitter fantasy, and then lately they added pitches thrown, earned runs allowed, which is, I can see that there's some bad beats on that waiting to happen. For those of you guys that really haven't had to experience unearned runs, I can see people sweating earned runs and then get what do they say, cucked by an error and start racking up some unearned runs and people getting excited when they shouldn't. That could be something. Walks allowed. That's probably something I might want to get some action on. And then we'll add pitcher fantasy score into the list. All right, cool. So we got that set up in the notepad. Hello, my love.
Hello.
You want to say hi?
Hi. Hello.
You can name 10 Yankees, right?
Yeah, I can. I can name 11 now.
Okay. I'm trying to find some props on Angels and Yankees. Golly, Dante.
I know.
Nothing screaming at me from the Angel side. Meow. Let's see, Judge, Gallo, Rizzo. Gallo, 9-0 Gallo. That's scary. I don't think I would add that. First inning runs allowed. Man, I might slightly lean the over, right? Judge, Rizzo, Ohtani, Trout. Those are four of the best bats in the world at Yankee Stadium. I might be curious with that, but I'm probably just gonna sit that aside and let that sit for now. Anything else? 15.5 pitching counts for Jordan Montgomery. So like I said, that bullpen's so beat up, and we've seen the starters go so deep that maybe 15. So 15.5 would be 5 innings, and another out. Last outing, he went 6 innings, just 88 pitches, though. He hasn't broken 90 pitches all year, so that's scary. That's scary. What's his pitch prop at? 83.5. I mean, I kind of like that. Jealous. Bro, y'all see how she was naming off players, though? Get yourself a girlfriend that can name half your roster. All right, we'll set those aside. We'll move on. I don't really have any convictions on anything in that game just yet. I will say I'm tempted to add, what do we say, hits? First inning hits allowed at 1.5. I think we're gonna add that. Right? So let's where do we put that? First inning hits. So I'll say Yankees, Angels over 1.5 hits. And this is assuming that your first inning lineups include Trout, Ohtani, Judge, Rizzo, DJ LeMahieu. There's a lot of talent, and Taylor Ward for that matter. So I'll take the 1.5 hits. I'll try not to sweat the runs there. We'll take the hits. Is that fair? What up, Obi-Wan? What up, Skimmer? Rich Homie Quinn blocks me _1. I saw someone forget to name the starting pitcher today. Sway. Oh my God. When I saw Michael, and remember, we did that at like 2 in the morning, okay? And this is kind of a lazy day because there was no Yankee game yesterday. Bro, I felt ashamed. Like David McKay, and I should have even known Estevan Florial. But man, not getting Jordan Montgomery and Michael King, like that's gonna. I almost didn't post that video, but it is what it is. All right, let's get the next game in here. Seattle Mariners taking on the Orioles. We don't have a Mariners confirmed lineup yet, so we're just gonna go with the projected. Kyle Lewis back in the order. That's good for them. George Kirby. I got Kirby in season long. I'm hoping he bounces back here. We do have a confirmed Orioles lineup. Orioles, man, they layeth the smacketh down on the Boston Red Sox last night. So kudos to them, right? You love to see the Red Sox lose a game on the Yankees, or at least half a game on their day off. It's like 2 steps forward, 3 steps backwards for the Red Sox lately. They got in that really nice stretch. Whew. All right, this is a confirmed Orioles lineup. We've got Kirby taking on Brian Baker. Baker's got 19 innings of sample size. Kirby's got 20. So let's go pull up MLB.com. Let's get a little bit more knowledge on the history here. We'll do a refresher on Kirby as well for those of you guys that maybe are not too familiar with Kirby. .182 ERA. Oh, that's in the minors. 5 games started, 24.2 innings, 32 Ks. So more than a strikeout per inning, less than 1 WHIP. Pretty solid stuff. And he was pretty solid last year as well, right? 115 innings, 137 strikeouts. So as he progresses, as he grows, we should start seeing those numbers develop a little bit more in the big leagues. And in his last couple of outings, we're worried about pitch count here. 90 pitches, 71, 89. So looks like it's a good chance he gets to about 90 pitches. Whether or not that gets you into the 6th inning, well, that remains to be seen. 8 hits allowed against the Oakland Athletics. Not what you want, but it does look like the strikeouts are at least following him. So maybe we'll keep him in mind here. Orioles, I think, are starting to turn it around, getting a stretch. This Adley Rutschman call-up. Santander is back in the mix. Ryan Mountcastle's coming back for him. I believe he homered last night. So they're kind of a pesky team. So I'll give them some respect. I'll also say, though, that I think Kirby's strikeout potential is probably worth more than 6.6K. So yeah. Why am I not getting righty data? Does Kirby have less than 10 innings against righties? That can't be, right? I might just have to bring that down to 0. You see that Derek Jeter joined Twitter today? I did not. I have to go follow the GOAT. He does have less than 10 innings against righties. So that's pretty incredible. So let me see something. If lefties was his less split, and naturally it should be, but 9 innings against lefties, 188, 12 Ks in 9 innings, but 20 Ks in 50. It's pretty even. So I'm not gonna overreact to that, but that is annoying for aesthetic purposes. So I might have to change the code to minimum 0 innings, because that's crazy. Less than 10 innings so far. Anyway, I do think 6.6K is probably a little too cheap for Kirby. I think in 20 or less, I probably don't get there at a high clip, but I think at 150, you're absolutely getting to some Kirby here. So let's introduce Kirby to like the tier 3 area. And then Brian Baker, he's got 19 innings. So it looks like he got a little bit unlucky. 1.5 whip, 4.6 ERA. The Sierra at 3.13. And we can do some digging on that. So we want to do two things. I want to look at pitch count. I want to look at pitch mix. And then I want to look at his minor league stuff. So he's just an opener. All right, 1.1. All right, so pitch count means that he's going to be largely unusable. And there's no way that he's on PrizePicks, right? Nope. Okay, cool. Make sure we ain't getting a freebie there. So with that said, it looks like a full bullpen game for the Orioles. And their bullpen has been above average in keeping the ball inside the park. 73 home run per 9 plus, meaning they're 27 above average in a good way. Does that make sense? So Mariners might have a tough stretch here. And I'm trying to think who any projected long relievers? Zach Lothar. Okay, he's a lefty. All right, so bringing a lefty for Suarez might get a first crack at a lefty. So let me put Lothar's stats in here, and then we'll switch the split. Lothar, he hasn't pitched at all this season in the bigs, right? So let's see if he's got some minor league stuff going. Yoan Moncada is starting in your lineup, but is not starting today for the Chicago White Sox. All right, so May 26th went 5 innings. May 18th went 5 innings. He is getting smacked around, actually. Let's see, 1 homer, 2 homers, so 3 homers in his last 10 innings, a couple walks, 358 average. Good God, he's all. Oh my God, this is rough, boys. A 324 average allowed so far this season, or excuse me, this month, in 17 innings. Last month it was 365. That's not what you want. Whip at 1.7. The ground out the air. So he's been a fly ball pitcher. This is not great. This is not what you want. And what's the homer totals? 2 homers last month in 11 innings, more than what you want. 3 in 17. So usually about 1 per 10 innings is what I look for as like average. So he's above average. So Lothar, not great. So this is gonna probably introduce the Mariners into the mix for me. Even though they don't project like really great in terms of overall power. Frazier, Taylor Trammell, guys like that. I do think Ty France, Julio Rodriguez is turning it on. Jesse Winker, it's gonna be a weird spot where so far this season his positive split somehow is against lefties, even though last year he couldn't touch them. JP Crawford, Eugenio Suarez. So I'm gonna get some loose exposure to some Mariner stacks. Kind of going off the unknown, but at the same time, the known. And he's a lefty, so I really like Eugenio Suarez if he's going to get one of the first cracks at him. 407 rating in the bomb detector for Suarez. Julio Rodriguez is probably a really solid floor guy. So with that said, let's go look at what's on the board for the Mariners over on PrizePicks. Let's go Seattle. We just type Seattle. Okay, let's bring it up. Okay, Sean Seager, I get it. All right. Rodriguez has 7 fantasy points. Man, this guy's been showing some pop, and then he's also got some power in his bat. That makes no sense. He also got some speed in his legs. Sorry, I got distracted. What was that Batista promo? Not only are weapons allowed, or not only, I don't know what it was. It was like, not only are weapons allowed, they're allowed, or something weird, something stupid like that. So one of my early leans here might be Julio Rodriguez fantasy points. If he's going to be batting third, I think he offers a nice flexible floor at 7 fantasy points. So let's add him to one of the Julio Rodriguez over 7 fantasy points. And Kirby's at 4.5 strikeouts, so that's also pretty tempting. The bottom of this Orioles lineup, where he's gonna have to make up some ground. You're hoping he steals one against the front half, maybe a Austin Hayes, maybe a Mancini, something like that. But I definitely don't mind it. I want to... Let's look at the pitch report. So Kirby's been throwing fastball 54% of the time, 95 miles an hour. Slider's been a negatively graded pitch. A curveball, changeup, so a lot of fastball, pretty average results. Slider, I expect the slider to get better. Austin Hayes, Adley Rutschman have projected or have done well against the slider. That 4.5 number is really low, man. I think I might throw it in the mix. Aim for the bushes. His minor league stuff says that these strikeouts should be coming. So we'll go Kirby over 4.5 Ks from the Mariners side. Anything sticking out to us on the Orioles side? Obviously, we can't touch pitching. I mean, we'll see any lines, but Mullins has a really low fantasy line at 6.5. It's a couple hits. 6 fantasy points on Hayes. I think all these are justifiable, but probably not something I'm going to put in a parlay style card. So we'll move on from that. What up, Ryan? Why am I liking these low price Nats hitters? Anyone else? Nats are pesky, man. They don't strike out a ton. Last night, the last couple days, really been evident. A lot of people, David Peterson drew a little bit of ownership against them, and he made them pay. Let's add the next game. White Sox at the Blue Jays. Both these lineups out. Let's go. Wait a minute. Am I reading this right? Let's say Yasmani Grandal leading off. There's no way. Sometimes labs be trolling me. What's the White Sox Twitter? White Sox. Did the White Sox tweet out their lineup? I refuse to believe in the year of our Lord. I guess they didn't tweet that out. I'll see if Underdog can corroborate this myth that's before me. White Sox. All right, I guess Yasmani Grandal's leading off today, so that's something. That's quite the development. Yasmani Grandal leading off today for the Chicago White Sox. Move over Tim Anderson. Holy F, what is this lineup? No Tim Anderson. I think he's on the IL, right? He hurt his groin. No Yohan Moncada. Bruh. This is not the best version of the White Sox. They have just a 3.3 run total. Also, they had to leave a couple people in the States because of the COVID restrictions. They have a 3.3 run total, boys. That seems like not what you want. Matt Chapman. He's got a fast car. Kevin Biggio in the 9 hole. And then Kevin Gossman here. All right. It's a junior on Gurriel. Ain't it? Bam. All right. These are our confirmed White Sox and Blue Jays lineups. Cool. So, White Sox throwing out a bunch of righties. And I would say one of the Gossman's knacks so far is he hasn't been able to strike out lefties at the same clip as he was able to do last year. 21.6%, not abysmal, but you want to see him go back to that 30%. With that said, this White Sox lineup, just 3 lefties, so he can kind of get around. It's not like lefties are smacking him. He's just not getting the Ks that you would like to see him get. He is getting the Ks against righties, almost 30% clip, and on the season owns about a 30% K rate, a 17% swing and strike rate, and a 2.5 SIERA. Let's skip this song. All right, and then let's go look at Gossman's metrics lately. Just go, just looking at game logs, making sure nothing's regressing or any concerns. Played discipline last game, a 19% swing and strike rate against the Cardinals, and if my memory serves me correct, the Cardinals don't really strike out like that. So, yeah, this is a bad man. 44% ground ball rate on the season, 2.4 xFIP. So you know what that means. This not good White Sox lineup against Gossman at the house. Kevin Gossman's going to be a tier 1 pitcher tonight. Yeah, the Ks are pretty modest overall though. But with that said, elite pitchers can bring these 20% K rate guys to 24-25%, so I'm not going to sweat that very much. Lucas Giolito on the bump here. He's also pretty doggone good at throwing the baseball. 33% K rate on the season, 15% swing and strike rate with a 2.63 ERA, a 3 SIERA. And for some reason, my expected ERA metric isn't pulling correctly, so I need to look into that. Yeah, I need to look into that. So not a great matchup for the Blue Jays. However, the Blue Jays, they're just really good, or at least they should be really good. They haven't been really good, but they should be. Just a 97 WRC plus against righties. That's not what you want. Springer, Bichette, Vladdy, Teoscar. I'd put those guys in the mix more often than not. I will put some Giolito in the mix for me. Let me see. Giolito, he was out for, was it Rona? I feel like he just missed a stretch of games. Gio. Let's see, make sure the 25th he pitched. So he got to 100 pitches. So why am I thinking he missed some time? Maybe he didn't. Maybe it was between this Cleveland and KC game. I feel like he missed like a rotation. All right, so 100 pitches. That's good news for Giolito. So let's put Giolito as a tier 2, just because I respect the Blue Jays offense a little bit more. And then we'll get to I'd probably allow some Blue Jay stacks. The White Sox bullpen has been really nothing to run away from. I'm not stacking this White Sox team. And while we're here, let's go look at the Chicago White Sox. What would be their abbreviation on? Is it CWS maybe? Kinda. Chicago? I'm dumb. What is the abbreviation for Chicago or White Sox on? I guess it don't matter because I'm not taking any of these White Sox. So let me just look at the Toronto game then. Toronto side. So maybe under half a run first inning. Kind of sounds good with those two pitches. So we'll add that to the list. First inning runs allowed. Blue Jays, White Sox, under 0.5. And then maybe we'll look at a Gossman or Giolito strikeout prop. 6 Ks for Gossman. That seems a little on the light side. Could I get to 7? Any pitch count concerns? I'd probably take the 6. Maybe it pushes. But I think I could lean the over against this version of the White Sox team. I'll take a dab at that. So we'll go pitching strikeouts. Let's go Kevin Gossman over 6 Ks. $95.5 pitches thrown. That's intriguing. 6. I hate the 18 pitching outline. I feel like it should either be 17.5 or 18.5. 18 is like the most likely, right? 6 innings strong. Get the old hook. So I hate that one. And then what's Giolito on the board at 5.5? That's interesting. 94.5 pitches thrown. So he did just throw 100. Pitches thrown is going to be a little flimsy. But I probably don't get too far behind or too far invested in that. So man, the strikeouts are interesting against this confirmed lineup. 1-5 for Springer, Bichette. I'm probably gonna sit that one out. I don't think it's a crazy click though. If you got a better feeling on Giolito, go for it. I'm just gonna stick with the Gossman side. For me at least. I was as confused as you were when I saw it, dude. So the other day, so I keep labs on the second monitor just to kind of keep an eye on the lineups, and obviously they're I don't want to hate on them, but they've regressed. But it's still like the most aesthetically pleasing lineup page for me, so I just use it. Because how do you get that wrong? And the other day they had Franmil Reyes on the lineup. And I think it was on an Osmo stream. I was like, oh, Franmil's on the lineup. And then he was on the IL. I was like, God dang it. So when I saw Yasmani Grandal leading off, I thought that maybe they screwed up again. Heim or Grandal. I mean, I will say Grandal has a great spot in the order, but it's not a quality matchup. I don't have a pulse on Jonah Heim yet. All right, let's add this Reds game. Where are we at on time? 2:46. We'll be all right. Guys, remember after this stream, Josh is going to debut a new stream series for WNBA with a focus on prop betting. And if you guys are in the free Discord, you know that these boys are tearing up WNBA. So I'm very interested to see how that show progresses and grows, and he starts, bringing on new guests and stuff like that. Shout out to Josh, man. Josh is growing. Remember when he first did videos for me? He was a little timid, didn't really have his sea legs under him. Had a strong edit some stuff, make it a little bit more lively, and slowly he's starting to build build his charisma and be a really strong presence on camera. He has a better setup than I do, right? I got a little $30 headset. He's got like lights and fancy mics and stuff like that. All right, both lineups for the Reds and Red Sox are confirmed. Just a throwback here. If you missed the beginning, this was like Kevin Roth keeping mental note thing. 50 degrees ish in the 50s for this game versus 90s in some of these other East Coast games. So it's going to be a damper on the hitting environment, if you will. That is Luis Castillo taking on Michael Wacha. Castillo does have strikeout potential, more so lately if you give him some more righties than not. He has 20 innings pitched this season. Maybe some innings to be seen to regress closer to what he struggled with last year. But when you take him outside of Great American Ballpark, I have interest, but Fenway actually plays as one of the most hitter-friendly parks as well. So I have some trepid expectations. This Red Sox lineup 1 through 5, 1 through 6, looking pretty strong here. So I might teeter-totter here and get a little scumdacker exposure to a pinch of Castillo, a pinch of Red Sox stacks. I know it's 50 degrees, whatever. Fenway's still Fenway, so I'm not gonna all the way stand out. So let's go ahead and put Castillo at the bottom. Let me double check his pitch count. He's a big changeup guy, right? I'll double check the Red Sox against the changeup here in a second. $90 pitches. Yep. All right, cool. So we're good on pitch count. Nothing like flattering in terms of results. So if he ends up getting plucked away from the pool later, that's cool. But I think in 150 lineups, he might be part of the back end. What was I about to do? Oh, pitch report. So I'm gonna compare. I think he was a big changeup guy. 29% on the changeup. His changeup's negatively graded this year. This is not right. Let me fix the color coding here. So let's do numbers. So -2 would be red. And then we'll go 2 would be green. There we go. That's better. Color codes, baby. All right, so it's got 2+ pitches. The changeup needs some work here. His fastball's really doggone good. Not but 3 elite fastball hitters so far on the Reds. Elite's a stretch, but Rafi Devers, Xander Bogaerts, 2 guys that are well above average in runs created against that fastball. And then JD Martinez is a plus hitter as well. So, yeah, I'm going to play both sides of that, but nothing's going to scream at me. So we'll put a little Red Sox stackarooski in the bottom. What do we do with the Reds, man? Nothing, huh? It's such a weird spot. Like, I don't want to play Wacha ever. I look to pick on him sometimes, especially in a spot like now where we know Wacha's due for regression, like hardcore regression. He's got 4.8 Sierra with a 2.83 ERA, meaning the casuals, the mouth breathers, if you will, are like, oh, this guy's pretty good. And I was like, no, not really. 17% K rate, almost a 5 Sierra. But man, it's the Reds. It's 50 degrees. How do we play this one? Naquin, Drury, Pham, Votto. Sure. I'm going to meditate on this one, boys. I mean, we just saw the Orioles go to town, but the Orioles, I think, are better than the Reds. And I think the Orioles are better than the public perception anyway. Ah, man. I'm going to chill on that. I probably don't see any or I probably wouldn't expect to be that enamored by props here, but just in case. By the way, I had yesterday Red Sox were one of my favorite stacks going against Wells, I think is his name. I had the over on half a run and over on 1.5 hits. The Orioles cleared that for me in the top of the first, and the Red Sox just tanked. So shout out to the Orioles for saving because I was there, but it wasn't the same reason I was there. Castillo's at 5 strikeouts, 16.5 pitching outs, 5.5 hits allowed, 26.5 pitcher fantasy score, half a run first inning. I think I'm gonna stay away from that. And then on the Boston side, this might be a wash for me, man. I might sit this one out. 3.5 Ks on Waka. I would never want to sweat the over. There is some strikeouts to be had here, but I don't think I'm doing it. So I think I'm fading this one, unless you guys got like a better idea. Josh is doing a great job. Just growing a lot over the last 6 months. Yeah, man. I'm trying to get more people. I'm honestly trying to get a little team going here. I was talking to some longtime subs last year, or a longtime sub last year or last night. The man's been with me since he's a day one, and he's like, hey man, you start getting you some time. I was like, you're right. One of my priorities, as the next season approaches, and this summer couple of months between now and September, I call it the downtime of the year. Although I'm still working every day, the football and basketball is just a whole different grind. Where I'm 10 hours a day at this spot, and I'm doing stuff like video editing, graphics, on-air stuff, spreadsheet coding, pre-lock voice chats, all that good stuff. So it's many hands make light loads. I'm trying to build a team, but it's scouting talent out there is a little rough. I've been able to find a couple of dimes in a rough, but like I always say it, I tweet it all the time. If you guys know some young creators that could use a little boost, or humbly could use a rub, you know what I mean, like maybe I could help them out, not only just with collaborating, but also maybe some advice. I'm definitely looking to add to the team. We are going to enter the Nats and the Mets into the spreadsheet here. Either lineup looks confirmed from what I can see. Oh God, it's a Patrick Corbin game. Brace yourselves. Either that or I'll get signed by somebody, and then I don't have to worry about controlling it all. But just kidding. But not really. Somebody can sign me. Just kidding. I don't know. I can't tell. I feel like I got bad vibes when I said that. Mets, Nats, neither lineup confirmed. We got Trevor Williams against Patrick Corbin. Whoo, Patrick Corbin, eh? So Corbin is just not good. Can't even pretend to be good. 1.6 whip on the season, 4.48 Sierra, 6+ ERA, 17.9% K rate. I don't know what I need to say to just get that point across. He's not great. 5.9K over here on DraftKings. 6.5 innings in his last couple outings. Has 2 games against the Mets, averaging 12 fantasy points per game. Hasn't allowed a bomb yet. Only 2 earnies, 8 hits in 9 innings. So he's actually been performing above expectation, way above expectation against the Mets here. So let me go look at what the heck's happening and see if he's a little lucky. So we're gonna go to his Fangraphs card, look at game log, plate discipline. And we look at the 2 Mets games. So let's go batted ball data. 4.95 xFIP, 5.42 Sierra in the game on May 10th. What actually happened? Zero homers, 0 earned runs, 4 walks in 5 innings, 3 hits. Yikes. So he was really, really lucky. I bet his left on base was like ridiculous. He had 100% left on base. What's obviously I could have done that math. 100% left on base percentage against the Mets with a 7.2 walk per 9 and a 250 BABIP. So yeah, a little bit on the lucky side there. And then the other game was the first game of the season. You know, hitters are always behind pitchers when it comes to getting prepared. He had a 4+ xFIP in that game, 4+ Sierra. So yeah, I think the process is the process. We're gonna have to stack some Mets here. Their bats were alive and well last night. We're gonna add Mets to the stack list here. Who profiles the best? Pete Alonso, a 414 rating on the bomb detector. Eduardo Escobar actually looking pretty good too. That's actually somewhat surprising. I wasn't expecting his name to pop like that. Escobar. Let's look at his splits from this year, and then we'll look at last year against lefties. This year against lefties, batting 250 with a bomb, 6 doubles, and 3 and a triple. That's impressive. What's the batted ball data telling us this year against lefties? 50% fly ball. He has a really good true fly ball rate. It's about 44+%. Pull rate's not great. Hard contact's not great. And let's bring it back to last season. Last year, you batted 295 against lefties with 9 homers. Oh, wow. Eduardo Escobar, huh? That's great. 129 WRC plus. Okay. Last year, a 44% fly ball rate. Almost a 20% line drive rate, 40% hard contact rate with a 50% pull rate. So his numbers last year definitely giving us the numbers that the bomb detector really likes to see: the pull rate, the hard contact rate, fly ball, line drive rate. This year hasn't been as great, but it's not like terrible. So if we believe in progressing towards the mean here, especially as his at-bats grow, only 44 at-bats against lefties so far. Yeah, maybe I do buy into that. So something to keep an eye on. Neither lineup is confirmed, though. But yeah, we're in on some Mets. Mets, a 5.7 implied run total. Absolutely going to be a target for us. Probably going to be a trendy target for the field as well. So it is what it is. Trevor Williams on the bump for the Mets. The Nats, by the way, a 4 implied run total. Williams has been really rock solid against righties so far. Now, it is a short sample, only 22 innings overall. And I do think that 2.3 is going to regress. But even if it does, last year was at 3.5, so it's not like terrible. It's probably average plus. But he still has a home run problem to righties so far. And then last year, while he kept the ball on the ground at a decent clip against lefties, the average allowed is still elevated, and the xFIP is through the roof. It's been 4.3 plus xFIP against lefties over the course of the last 3 years. So with that said, I'm probably not too intrigued with Williams today. Not only is Williams just like an average, below average pitcher, but the matchup, still pending, but the matchup is really, really bad for projected strikeouts. Ruiz 11%, Soto 12%. Bell, Yadiel Hernandez, Franco, D. Gordon even. These are all low teen strikeout percentages. So not really a fruitful spot for a 13-game slate to really want to be there. So I'm not going to get to any Trevor Williams. I probably get to a couple of these, a couple of those Nats bats. Let's go look at the props available here. Lindor, Alonso, and Eduardo Escobar over half a total home run. That's intriguing because Alonso and Escobar do have 2 of the best ratings in the bomb detector. So I might dabble with that. I probably leave it alone, but I might. I don't know. I probably just solo bet all those guys for fantasy points because I like them all. So I might hedge a little bit, but yeah, I might get some exposure to it. 8 fantasy points on Pete Alonso. What are we thinking? I wouldn't hate a shot at first inning runs allowed over, right? If Soto gets a crack in the first inning. But the Mets, the guys that I really like on the Mets are like the 3, 4, 5 projected spot. So I could see some trollness going on there. So I'm gonna cool on that. Marte got a bomb last night. He's at 7 fantasy points. He's an interesting guy because he does steal bases, although I think Corbin actually has a decent pickoff move, and you don't really want to project stealing on lefties for the most part anyway, so I'll probably chill on that. If I wanted to stack the Mets, I think that's fine. I think Alonso, Lindor, and maybe Escobar, but they don't give us a fantasy line on Escobar. So I'm gonna not commit to anything yet. But if a Mets lineup comes out pleasantly surprising, like right now they got Mark Canha as the projected leadoff guy. I would say there's at least a chance that doesn't happen, and maybe you get like a Marte or a Lindor leadoff. I think it could happen, but I also think it's not a lock. Let me make sure that there's no Mets lineup. Oh, there's a Mets lineup. Yeah, it is Mark Canha. All right, cool. Canha, Marte, Lindor, Alonso. So Escobar's all the way down there. Yeah. Canha, Marte, Lindor, Canha. All right. So let's update this Mets lineup. See if that changes any of our perspective. You're Jeff McNeely. Yo, shout out to Luis Guillorme, man. He has been coming through for me as the 2K special over there on Fanduel. All right, Canha is. I'm gonna stay away from that. Just them. What do we get on Trevor Williams? Strikeout wise, nothing, right? Okay, cool. Nats. What do we got on the Nats? Nothing. Am I typing Nats right, or am I? Their abbreviation would be WASH, right? Washington. Let me see. Soto on here. Oh, it's WSH. Okay. Soto, Bell, Cruz. Those would be the three. So that half a run first inning is still tempting, but I wish the Mets lineup guaranteed me a Pete Alonso first run or first inning at bat. Soto's 8 fantasy points. Corbin. All right, here we go. Corbin. 1.5 walks allowed for Corbin. Seems interesting. But maybe not. His walk problem so far this year has been mainly against lefties, and there's not many lefties to compete with. So maybe we go after his hits allowed. Did they give us that line? They did not. 16.5 pitching outs. Ew. Okay. Alright, I guess I don't have any convictions on anything here, so I'm gonna probably leave that alone. Cool. I think the Mets lineup's out. Yeah, Dennis. Labs takes a minute to update, but I'll keep referencing the Discord here. D-backs, Rangers. The Angels lineup did come out. Okay, so we can go back and fix that. Rays lineup is out as well. All right, cool. Take the first inning hits with Washington and New York. Yeah, I tell you what. I think for what it's worth, Trevor Williams, you know, he doesn't give a bunch of bombs, but man, that's an elevated average to lefties. And depending on who the Nats roll out, if it is Cesar Hernandez, Keibert Ruiz, and Juan Soto, I think you get a hit out of that. And the Soto Cruz Bell home run props is interesting as well. I don't think that's a bad call, Quinn. I might. 1.5 hits, and then on the other side, yeah, let's do that. So the Quinn special: Nationals, Mets over 1.5 hits first inning. I like that. That's a good call. Righties against the White Sox. Yes, sir. Candace leading off. What up, AJB? All right, so we do have an Angels lineup. So if you guys want, I'll go back and adjust that just to see if it changes any of our perspective. I don't know that it's actually different than what we had projected. Ward, Otani, Trout, Duffy, Rengifo, Max Stassi's batting 6th. 7 spots could be Jared Walsh. So it's the same. It's literally the same lineup, just flopped 6 and 7. And then did we have a Mariners lineup? We do. Mariners lineup is confirmed. Remember, this is going to be an opener into a lefty. So I put the lefty, the long reliever, in. But the opening is Brian Baker. So Winker, Ty France, Julio, JP Crawford, Eugenio, Adam Frazier, Dylan Moore. So no Kyle Lewis today. Taylor, Trammell, Kyle Raleigh. All right, cool. And then no Nats. All right, we are caught up. What y'all know about that? And Twins. Aren't the Twins playing right now? I feel like they are. We got a doubleheader going. I feel like I saw Gary Sanchez homering as an alert earlier. The Twins put the work on them. 8-2. Saw Smeltzer. Jesus H. I would have not. What did we get? Buxton was batting 2nd. Kepler with a 3-hit morning. Gary Sanchez homered out of the 6th spot. All right, cool. So that game's over though. Game 2 of a doubleheader tonight. I do love me some Twins against lefties. We'll see. I closed that, but I actually don't know. Chat, anybody know if Gary DH'd that first game or if he caught it? I guess he would DH no matter what. Palacios. So this game's not on Fanduel. Bryson Sands. Okay. It would probably, a catcher's not going to catch 2 games in a day, more than likely. But I feel like Gary's bat against lefties is lucrative enough that no matter what, he would DH if he caught, but also vice versa. So something to keep an eye on. So we got who God knows what at pitching today for this game. So let's go do some minor league research. Cole Sands, Donnie Sands. Minnesota pitcher. It's Cole Sands. See, the Fantasy Labs has bright, like, I don't know if this is this kid's real name or something, but they put Bryson, so it's Cole Sands. All right, 4 innings. All right, a little bit better. At least he's popping up. Let's go get some intel on Cole Sands. In the minors so far, a 7.23 ERA. Not what you want. 6 games, 5 games started, 18.2 innings pitched, 21 innings, so more than a strikeout per inning, but a 1.5 whip. And then in his career, 3 ERA in the minors, 196 innings, 225K. So he's been a strikeout guy. He does have 5 starts, and he is 24. Uh, 3-2 innings in his last 4 starts in the minors. Actually, two of those were starts. So it looks like we probably wouldn't expect more than 1 trip through the lineup today. But he has not been great. A whip at 1+. And one homer here. But see, whenever these guys have like short stints against lineups, it does skew the numbers a little bit. All right, but generally speaking, it looks like this guy's not great. And then let's go see if we can get some intel on his pitches and stuff like that. 10% swinging strike rate so far. Did look like he can get some strikeouts in the minors. XFIP is on his side. But again, short sample. And then pitch type. Fastball's at 92. That's not mind-blowing. 78 on the slider. Changeup at 85. So 3-pitch pitcher, basic pitch mix. And then Joey Wentz. Sanchez caught. All right, cool. Mets money line, Red Sox money line, Blue Jays money line. I'm with you on the Mets money line. Red Sox, sure, even though they, I don't know, man. I don't like laying money lines on. I mean, the Reds suck. Don't get me wrong, and that Red Sox offense should thrive, but they should have thrived last night. I just hate. If I go after a money line, I want to believe in the starting pitcher. I don't believe in Michael Walker with my money. So, I don't know. I don't want to co-sign that one. I don't hate it though. It makes a lot of sense. And then Blue Jays money line, they should beat that not great White Sox version lineup. And then Kevin Gossman. So yeah, I'll shake your hand on Mets and Blue Jays, but Red Sox, that's on you. That's on you. Joey Wentz, 24 as well. He is a lefty in the minors this season. 26 innings pitched, 1.28 whip, 34 Ks. ERA is elevated. Let's look at his splits. Actually, look at his game log. See if he's actually a stretched out starter. 2.52, 4 innings. This month, no homers. Ground ball rate is solid, but it's actually been erratic. In April, he had a higher fly ball rate, and then in the month of May, a higher ground ball rate. So really just, it feels like we don't know what we're getting. It seems like both pitchers are susceptible to getting got, but they also have a little strikeout propensity, if that makes sense, right? 18 Ks, 15, like more than a strikeout per inning on both sides. So I think that the easiest call here is that neither one of them should be trusted to go deep. So we don't have to worry about them for DFS. And we just expect some mediocre pitching and bullpens here. So I think both stacks are justifiable. So we'll do that. We'll put... I'd more so get behind the Twins, but I want to see the right Twins lineup. Oh, my God. What up, Brian? Let me delete the porn bots, and I got you. Fairly new to DFS and still grinding. Love what you do for the people. Let's go. Let's go, Brian. I appreciate that. Bro, these porn bots are out of control lately. 4.9 implied run total for the Twins, 4.3 on the Tigers. If we get this version of the Twins lineup, Buxton, Polanco, Garlic, Gary, even Gio in the mix, I think all those guys can make my team against lefties. Wouldn't hate Jose Miranda either. Matter of fact, I don't know why I got him listed as a lefty. Actually, I don't even know why I got him listed as a switchy. He's righty, yeah. So I'd probably get to some Twins. I'm a little lukewarm to not interested in the Tigers. So yeah, just out of curiosity, what's on the board for props here? Half a run first inning, 1.5 hits. Buxton's on the board. Polanco's at 6.5 fantasy points. That's really intriguing for a switchy that bats, top 3 in the lineup and gets that guaranteed 4th at bat. Been kind of quiet lately, but that's an interesting line that I wouldn't hate. And then there's probably not going to be much that I like on the Detroit side. There's not. All right, cool. Let's move on to the next game. This beat right here sounds like something that I'm just waiting for Cardi B to start talking. Right? Anybody? There's some Profar. Manny Machado. Some potential MVPs going at it tonight, right? Machado and Goldschmidt. Seem like two guys in the National League that might be in a conversation. I think, in the last month, Mookie Betts has kicked the door open and said, I'm back. But National League MVP wide open. Not a confirmed lineup that I just typed. Cardinals lineup is confirmed. Against Blake Snell. Tommy Edman leading off. Goldie in the 2 spot. Nolan Arenado. Albert Pujols. Juan Yepez. Yadier Molina. Edmundo Sosa. Bader. And then Brendan Donovan. Put Adam Wainwright on the bump. So, Padres have a 4.1 implied run total. Cardinals have a 4.6. Giving respect to the pitchers here in the 80s out there in St. Louis. Blake Snell's at 8,100. Looking for a shot at 20. Obviously, he has a strikeout potential, but I'll be honest, I don't have much interest in throwing a lefty against this Cardinals lineup. I mean, this is a devastating lineup to get behind. There's a lot of 300 plus ISOs, including Albert Pujols against lefties since the beginning of last year. They have 137 WRC plus. So this is just one of those matchups you're probably gonna write me off here. So I think I'm gonna sit this one out on Blake Snell. If he pops off, he definitely could, but more power to him. And then Adam Wainwright. This is, a guy, a smaller slate on a Fanduel where I need that quality start or something like that. Sure. I don't think I'm doing it today. So I'm probably going to sit out on pitchers, but I'm a little bit intrigued with Blake Snell's numbers on prop betting. Do we get a walks prop on him? 2 walks allowed. Dang, I was hoping we get 1.5 because he certainly has a history of walking hitters. And since the Cardinals don't strike out that much, I was wondering if we could maybe steal some walks. But 2 is kind of eh. 14% swing and strike rate so far for Blake Snell. And the batted ball data, fine, right? 3.6 to 4. What's the strikeout prop? 5.5. Man, I think they really priced him right. I think. The fantasy score, I'd be somewhat interested in the under, but that's more of a hunch. I hate to bet against good pitchers, but I think this is a abysmal matchup. With that said, I gotta get some Cardinal stacks against any lefty on this planet. But I do got respect for Blake. But I just got to take some shots here. Blake, a 1.31 home run per 9 last year to righties. We dig into that batted ball data a little bit. I need to make a note and bring my minimum qualifying innings pitched to 0. Because it is kind of skewing the aesthetic a little bit. And it's not going to make a change to any of my numbers. So what was I doing? Oh, batted ball data. So we're going to split the batted ball. Against righties. Just want to see if he's still showing some leaks against righties in terms of fly balls and pull rates. So 44% pull rate, 56% fly ball rate. We could true fly ball rate that down to like 45%. Yeah. So, oh yeah. I'm gonna be stacking some cards. Man, I wish Blake Snell's walk prop was 1.5. 2 is interesting, but like. It probably pushes. I guess he could go to 4. I mean, to 3. Man. All right. What else can we? I want to get something anti-Blake Snell here. 4.5 hits. No. I guess the best way to go opposite Blake would be under 25.5, but that's still a low enough line that I'll give him his due diligence. His respect. What are we thinking? Maybe first half or first inning hits allowed 1.5, maybe. Right, maybe. Machado Hosmer hit a decent clip. I'd probably leave it all alone. But I am going to get to some Cardinals pretty bullishly in DFS. This game's not on Fanduel. No, that game's not because of the doubleheader. Brian, who's a sub 5% owned starting pitcher on DK you like? I don't have a pulse on ownership yet. I like to do the research first. And like I know you guys see me on Awesome a lot, but I'm not like I don't have the right to give away their intel, right? So I don't want to give away their ownership projections without them being cool with it. So I don't have that yet. I like to look at this. So I don't know. I don't know ownerships. I would imagine on a 13-game slate, it's going to be pretty spread out. Julio Urias has 9 starts this year and has never touched 88 pitches. Is this a trend? And if so, avoid at his price. I'll look at that, but see 88. So what I would say as a slight pushback is that we've seen him kind of ramp up a little bit, but I think it's more so the 6 inning cap than the pitch cap per se. Right? He hasn't gone past 6 innings. If he can get through 6, then congratulations. But yes, that is and the same with Jordan Montgomery. He doesn't really get above 90 pitches much. So but you don't necessarily have to avoid a pitcher if their cap is 90 pitches. You just you don't have 110 bullets to play with. But on this slate, there's not like super aces to give you that 100 pluses. I think Giolito, maybe Gossman, guys like that. But I don't know. I don't like Urias a ton just because of his strikeout stuff looking a little less than great this year. But I guess his matchup's okay. Although the Pirates can be pesky. They were last night with Walker Buehler. All right, let's move on from this game. Might have some Cardinal stacks. Might be able to talk me into a Padres stack, but I'd probably more so just be looking for some Manny Machado exposure. Big slate, right? Andrew McCutchen, Luis Arias, Christian Yelich, Tyrone. Hi, I'm Tyrone. Oh, Jojo, appreciate that sub, man. Welcome to the channel. Sorry, I didn't call that out. And QA, I don't know if I called you out, man. I appreciate you subbing. All right, I'm not looking at confirmed lineups yet on this one. Boy, these are names. Justin Steele, Nelson Vasquez. Oh, Velasquez. Cool. And then Christopher Morel. Is it Chris? No. We just don't have a sample. All right. So I got 2 southpaws going at it. Eric Lauer versus Cubs. I'm seeing the wind blowing out 10 miles an hour. Let me see if Roth mentioned anything about that. Who the F is Tyrone? I don't know, but you can call on him. I want to see explosive storms just north of Chicago. Winds out to left center at 10 to 15 miles an hour. So left center would be a boost for really lefty or righty pull hitters, but not massive. Just wind blowing out. It's a good thing. Eric Lauer has been a pretty big fly ball line drive pitcher to righty so far this season. So this would be a good spot. If a guy like Wisdom can make contact, he's going to have a little extra help from the jet streams. But making contact against Lauer, it's been a little easier said than done. 29%. So something to watch. Justin Steele, 406 Sierra, 1.6 whip, 1-4 K rate, just a 2% barrel rate, and he is keeping the ball on the ground against righties. A decent clip, 47%. Line drive rate's a little bit more than I would want, but yeah, I think it's two average pitchers. Eric Lauer, man, I'm a pessimist, dude. Remember when he was having those 10, 12 strikeout games? I was like, this is fake. This is fake. And then he kept doing it, and I'm just looking like an idiot. And then I pick him up in season long, And he has 1 strikeout, 5 strikeouts. I was like, God dang it, I should have known better. Trust the process. But yeah, this 13 and 11 strikeout game back to back. 11 strikeouts came against the Chicago Cubs. So maybe a watered down matchup might get him there. And we saw last night Aaron Ashby absolutely dice up the Cubs. But now, I was all about that Ashby strikeout prop too. So let's see. Let's do some digging. His Lauer's swinging strike rate still 12+%. Game by game. It's at 12% on the season, but I want to see if the last couple games have sustained that number. Love Justin Steele's strikeout prop. What a Renza. 8%, 3%, 11%. So he's declined the last 3 games, but I will say we've talked about the Nationals being a really pesky team, so strength of schedule should be considered, and then Cardinals against lefties. So I'm willing to forgive the last 2 matchups, and to put that in perspective, we'll scroll up to the Nats here, and I'll show you. Where's that? Right here. Look at this column right here. We'll put L against lefties. I mean, there's barely any strikeouts to be had, so it's fair to forgive a non-huge upside game. So I guess it's fine to get to some Lauer.
Take a ride.
So we're gonna. I'm gonna put him as a tier 3 though. I'm not gonna call him Dad.
Take a ride.
Not even if there's a fire. Justin Steele. Let's look at the pitch count here. You liking that strikeout prop, eh?
With me, ride. With me, you wanna.
Quick way to see how many stolen bases each pitcher has allowed. I actually don't have a quick way. Most of the sources I reference put the last couple of years together. I would assume that there's something on Fangraphs that would probably show something like that. Or let's see, let's just Google it. MLB 2022 pitchers stolen bases allowed. Under in the first. You like that? All right, that's player hitting. By pitcher. Oh well, I already put pitchers. I would imagine Noah Syndergaard's at the top. So I don't know what this is, but this looks fun. Stats 10, 7. This has to be a couple years, right? Yeah, I don't know, bro. That's a good one though. If someone has a good source for like seasonal, like this season stolen bases, like I know Rasball will have, I think it's the aggregate last couple years. Yeah, Noah Syndergaard definitely sucks. Noah, yo Brian, are you on your phone and are you a wrestling fan? Like, did it change Noah to all caps because you're a nerd that watches fake fighting? I'm just kidding. Yeah, Noah, I don't know what it's 2018 through 2020. Oh, that's out of date anyway. All right. Chat, if someone's got the solution on that, definitely hit me up. Or if you're watching on delay or something, hit me up on Twitter, man. I've been wanting that too. So Justin Steele. Renza, man, we're gonna do some digging here. You're liking some Justin Steele, huh? 2, 9, 10 Ks. 9% swinging strike rate though. What's that all about? How did he get 9 and 10 strikeouts? You watch Real Fighting? Oh, okay. Well, there's a wrestling company called Noah, and it's all caps. Pro Wrestling Noah. 5, 12, 13%. Okay, so 2 games against Arizona, he went nutty with the strikeouts. Were they swinging strikeouts? Is the question. And even then, it's outlier at best. So this is really just kind of pointless. Yeah, it's kind of pointless. It's kind of pointless. What's this prop that you're that happy? 4? Yeah, it's kind of low. Against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys with a 1 in 4 or better strikeout rate. Maybe. You got that feeling in your bad knee, go for it. I wouldn't talk off it. Good ground ball rate, too. It just seemed like a super average, mediocre baseball game, so I'm hoping it is the most average game that ever did average. I'll take a little bit lower. I'm probably not going to get the Justin Steele. Unless there's like an exuberant amount of lefties in this lineup for no reason. Like Yelich. But that's probably it as far as lefties that we might see. So, yeah, no thank you. No thank you. But, I'll get to some Cubs too. A little bit. Not a lot. A little Cubs. And the reason being, like I said, even with his 30% K rate to righties, a 48.5% fly ball rate with a 22% line drive rate, with a little bit of wind blowing out, that's really good for Patrick Wisdom, who has one of the highest bomb detector ratings on the slate. Wilson Contreras as well. And Wilson Contreras probably a little less likely to strike out than Patrick Wisdom in his 40%. So I do think we got some potential homers to be had here, and maybe even some Wrigley supported homers. Remember, Ross, say keep an eye on the weather there in case that explosive storm moves the wrong way. All right, let's move on to the Rangers game. I don't think there's going to be much there for prop betting that I want to get behind. Where are we at? 3:30? All right. I'm going to try to get off the air in 30 minutes. All right, this is a confirmed Rays lineup. Ryan Yarbrough taking a bump for the Rays. Rangers also confirmed. Marcus Semien on the board. Grand slam for his first bomb. Hiccup. Hey, yo, Deshaun, appreciate the sub, man. Welcome aboard. Hope you're doing all right. Josh A. Smith. Well, that's probably not a name that's not uncommon. That won't mess up my stat pool. All right, is Yarbrough still like going decently, like somewhere between opener and starter? 5, 4, 3, yeah. I'm not playing Yarbrough. I was just wondering how long we might expect him to be in the game. Looks like maybe 2 trips in the order. Then Martin Perez. What did he do? A sub-1 whip so far this season, a 2.5% barrel rate, and the ground ball rate went from 40% to righties last year to 57% essentially this year. Line drive rate took a dip as well. The hard contact rates dropped 14%, and against lefties, still pretty solid. Not a massive strikeout guy, but man, his results have been really rock solid. And this is a guy that I like for sites like Fanduel and PrizePicks, where they're going to give you a drop for that quality start and that potential win. So something to keep an eye on. Let me and I saw Wander Franco. Is he on an IL? Is that what I saw? I think I saw that. Let's see if we can figure out what Martin Perez has done. Joey Gallo will be gone before July 4th, and the Gardy party will be back. I don't think you drop Gallo for Gardy. I do think Gallo has made himself expendable, kind of like Sonny Gray did, where you just maybe New York's not the right spot for him. I honestly kind of like, I don't know. Like Hicksy's kind of done that as well, but Hicks was signed to a 7-year deal, where Gallo, I think this is the last year of his contract. So, yeah, it's gonna be hard to shop Gallo for half a year, because people only rent guys like that if they think that they can benefit from it. So unless you're packaging something else, Hicks is somebody they got to see turn around. I'll say Hicks is on base percentage, and then he's had a couple bad luck outs. I literally feel bad for him by some of these at bats he's put together. Like in that Rays game, he put together 2 really good at bats, and didn't get the results. 39% fastball rate, 31% on the cutter. Oh, wait, no, excuse me. 45% fastball, 22% on the cutter. Little curve, a little bit of changeup. 1 of 4 this year for Mr. Martin Perez. Last year was pretty similar, man. I don't know what he's done for the results to be this different. Maybe he's changed his arm slot, something. Trying to get a home run player prop for at least 5 players. Who are they? Alonso, Soto, Arenado, Mullins, Betts. I mean, out of those 4, I'd probably say Peter Alonso against Patrick Corbin would be my favorite. I haven't looked into Betts' matchup yet. Arenado's is Arenado in the lineup? I think he is. It's just a tough pitcher. I think Alonso has the best matchup out of those out of that assortment of players. What was I doing? I was trying to get to the bottom of Martin Perez. What the heck? Expected sluggings on his side too. Yeah, I don't want to waste too much time here because I only got, Jesus, 22 minutes. I gotta hurry up, boys. So I'll make a note to dig into that deeper. But with that said, I have slight interest in Martin Perez. The one knock on Martin Perez that I have is that wouldn't be able to erase some mistakes with strikeouts, and he is starting to earn a higher price tag. So I'm not that enamored. But this Rays lineup, not a ton of power, not a lot to be scared of. I do think the strikeouts are meh as far as attacking, but no wonder Franco in this lineup is nice. This is a really watered down version of this lineup. So I'm just kind of on the fence here. I probably avoid both sides, but I wouldn't hate some shots of Martin Perez. But I will say this lineup since the beginning of last year, several sneaky guys with above 100 WRC plus against lefties. So maybe something to keep an eye on. And then Yarbrough has been attackable, high line drive rate, hasn't allowed a whole bunch of bombs. But I think this Rangers lineup is super, super pesky. Mitch Garver's going to profile pretty well, a 4+ rating in the bomb detector. I don't mind some Adolis Garcia. Jonah Heim, somebody mentioned him earlier. There are some Rangers bats that I would get to, but that game's kind of like super, super average, right? That's baseball, Susan. What did I do wrong? How many games we got left? 4? Chat, why y'all let me do this, man? No, the reason, remember Josh is, I got Josh penciled in at 4 p.m. my time for his WNBA show, and I obviously I don't want to be live while he's live on the same channel. But I thought 2 hours would be enough, but you know me, I don't shut up. Did anybody see the Jesus Sanchez homer yesterday? It almost went 500 feet. Obviously, it's Coors, but whatever. I think 2 hours would be fine for me going forward. It's just the 13-game aspect got me. And I'm trying to find a medium between prop hunting and DFS game theory. All right, so as a note, let's mark this game as an orange. And if you guys missed the beginning of the show, Kevin Roth, I'll refresh that just in case. Kevin Roth had this game straight up orange. Said model show a line of range is sitting in Colorado. If it were to shift 5 miles north, the game would be fine. If it sets up where models are showing now, it's a wash. So could get postponed. So something to keep an eye on. I probably don't have any interest in either pitcher. Its cores would probably stack it up, but seems like there's a good chance that this game would get postponed. So keep that in your notes, and let's keep it moving. And by the way, chat, if you're out there lurking, you're vibing out, man. You probably got me on a different tab. Like you're not even watching. That's cool. You're just listening. That's fine. If you wouldn't mind, tab over real quick, hit that thumbs up, and then double check, make sure you are subscribed. That'll help me out. I appreciate you. I do. What am I doing? Why am I typing Braves? Yeah, okay. Braves against D-backs. Ronald Acuna Jr. Hold me closer, time to dance with. All right, Austin. Travis d'Arnaud, Ozzy Albies, William Contreras, Michael Harris, Charlie Morton, D-backs, Dalton, Varsho, Josh Rojas. So this is actually a confirmed D-backs lineup. Jake Hager. We the people. I just had that theme as my ringtone. 5.4 implied run total for the Braves, 4.3 on the D-backs. Chase Field, roof open. Let's see. Favorite over 1.5 bases today? I actually don't have one. Yeah, I don't have a 1.5 bases written down yet. But for fantasy, I have Julio Rodriguez. So I guess that would convert. Okay. What is today? The 31st? So according to this, the D-backs plan to have the roof open today, which is a boost for the hitting. And it's 95 degrees out in the desert. So would be a plus. So Humberto Castellanos, not great. A 4.59 Sierra, 1.34 whip. Don't have a confirmed Braves lineup, or at least Labs doesn't. I can double check the Discord to see if they threw one out there. Oh, they just threw it out. All right, cool. So we got Ronald Acuna, Swanson, Ozuna, Riley, Olsen, Travis d'Arnaud, Albies, Adam Duvall County, and then Michael Harris. All right, cool. So we're going to be stacking up the Braves up, so stinking lootly. Add them to the list. You know what happens when it's 95 degrees and the roof is open? Huh? Do ya? Acuna. All right, so I don't want to play Charlie Morton, more than likely. No. I do want to stack Braves. I don't want to play Castellanos. Maybe I'll get to a smidge of Chase, of D-backs stacking Chase Field. This year, Morton has been susceptible to walks and hit for average 2 lefties. We'll see if that regresses. For prop betting, though, let's go look at ATL. Riley, Ozuna, Swanson. Man, why didn't they throw Acuna in that mix? 1.5 hits allowed in the first inning is interesting. I think I'll write that one down. Right? We cool with that? We'll go Braves, D-backs over 1.5 hits in the first inning. For fantasy points, I'm fine with putting Acuna in hitter fantasy. We haven't done a whole lot of hitter fantasy over 8.5 FPS. Looking for a good day out of him. I wish they would have did like Acuna. Why is it Dansby Swanson in the, you know? And then with that said, looking at the bomb detector, Acuna's got a 4+ rating in the bomb detector. So like if you wanted to add him at 1.5 bases, I wouldn't talk off. I tend to stay away from basis props, so I lean on fantasy where I can. So there's that. They have Morton at 1.5 walks. That's interesting because this D-backs lineup comes at you with a lot of lefties, just 2 righties. And so far this season, Morton has a 13% walk rate to lefties. So perhaps we can get 2 walks for Charlie Morton here, right? That's a weird one to sweat, right? We're really sweating umpires at that rate, but he is walking lefties. So that's an honorable mention. I don't know if I'm going to commit to that, chat, but if you are looking to play a ton of lines tonight, or a ton of cards, there's a lot of lefties in this D-backs lineup, and Morton walking lefties at a pretty decent clip. So there's that. 2.5 earnings for him. No. All right, and then on the Arizona side, runs allowed is interesting. Dalton Varsho at 6 fantasy points is interesting. He's been really, really good. Let's see, what's his bullpen for the Braves? It's actually pretty good. Varsho's fantasy points is interesting as a leadoff guy at 6. especially with the roof open. But I'm not gonna force the issue. 5.5 hits allowed for Castellanos is also something that I'd be intrigued with on the over. Really intrigued. How long do they let Castellanos wear it? 96 pitches, 92 pitches. All right, I'm gonna leave that alone. Don't leave it alone. I'll put maybe. I'll go Charlie Morton over 1.5 walks. But that's like a blocks and steal prop, right? Like, What up, Emerson's? Bringing the color G. Let's go, Emerson's. I love that. Some of you guys are gonna get that purple panda soon. Anyone going in on what is up with the Cal Quantrill taco? How did that one end up being a taco? Anyone? Yeah, it was a weird one. But I guess this slate doesn't have like a ton of like in-your-face pitching. Padres lineup is out. I just want to see if Machado's batting second. All right, 2 games left. 13 minutes. I think I can do this, guys. I think I can do this. Astros up against Frankie Montas. Can I spell Brantley right? Chat, if you guys are on Discord and you're not in the free Discord, we have a free Discord here for the YouTube channel, Gundacker Gaming. The link to that's in the description below. While there is a $5 paid chat in there for those of you that are with the G's next to your name, there's a ton of free great stuff in there. Like the bulk of the actions in that. So I definitely invite you guys to come be part of the community. I know gambling communities can be hard to feel great about joining, right? Like it can be intimidating at times. You can walk in there and you got guys posting 5K screenshots, blah 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 blah. I promise you, I've made it a point that our community is not like that. We got guys out here playing happy hour, $1, $5 tickets. We got guys playing 500, 1K tickets, but there's no egos. It's everyone wanting to see each other be great. So if maybe that has kept you away from that Discord, I got your back. And whenever naturally it's going to pop up. Whenever it has, we've kicked him, booted him, banned him really quickly. We just ain't got time for that toxicness. So definitely invite you guys to come be part of that. Astros and the Athletics. We got 3.1 implied run total for the Athletics, 3.6 for the Astros. So what is that? 6.5 in some books for the game total. Okay. Montas obviously pretty good pitcher, and Javier's been really solid himself. Montas matchup a lot tougher than Javier's on paper. So I think this is kind of a wash where I can probably come in slightly above the field on Montas and slightly above the field on the Astros just because of their talent. So that's probably going to be my my goal with them. And then Christian Javier, I'm a little bit more comfortable with getting him into like a tier 2. I can't type today. Maybe I just need a new keyboard. This sucker is so small for these big old bare hands. 5.2, 6 innings, 90 plus pitches in his last 2 outings. Strikeouts have absolutely been there. The swing and strike rate on him has been 13.6%. We love that. 33% K rate, and this is definitely a high K lineup. So Javier is going to come in as a tier 2 for me. Javi. And then a little bit of Astro stack. So for prop betting, what can we get on? I really just care about the pitchers here. This is possibly a no-run first inning opportunity too, right? Javier. 6 Ks for him or 16.5 outs. Both of those are really intriguing options. I'm thinking the outs might be the wave for me. But the Ks have been there too. I'll just go both, right? Pitching strikeouts. So we said it was 6, right? Javier. Javier 6. Now, we don't have a confirmed Athletics lineup yet, but I can't imagine they put out too many lineups that would make me scared of that. And then I'm going to go pitching outs. Christian Javier over 16.5 outs for that. I'm probably going to stay away from Montes unless Montes has a really high K prop. I'll take the under 6. That's appropriate. And they got him implied for 6 innings. I think that's fair too. So, boom. And that's all I got to say about that. And lastly, 8 minutes left. We've got Pirates and the Dodgers. Rodolfo Castro, Ke'Bryan Hayes, Ryan Reynolds, Michael Chavis, Josh Van Meter, Diego Castillo, Calvin Mitchell, Taylor Heineman. Actually, he's going to be batting righty here. Jack Sawinski. Sawinski's Auto Parts. Mitch Keller on the bump. Dodgers. Mitch Keller. Mookie Betts. Bro, I thought there was a baby crying. It's this song transition. I was like, wait a minute. I don't have a baby. Reminds me of an old joke. It's like there's nothing scarier. 3 a.m. in the morning where you're laying down resting and you hear a child's laughter, and then you realize I don't have a child. What the so we're stacking Dodgers. That's just what we're gonna do. Urias against the Pirates. So Pirates have a sub-3 run total again, and they started off at sub-3 against Walker Buehler yesterday, and they got to him. One of my favorite bets all time in baseball is anytime there's a sub-3 run total, like 2.5, I always just take the over, even if it's against elite pitching, just because it's like bloop and a blast and then off the pen, right? Like I don't know, and that's what we saw yesterday against Buehler. He got a couple times. And Urias, like Buehler, is carrying maybe a little bit stronger name value than the metrics say. You know what I mean? Like last year, Urias 26% K rate, 11% swing and strike rate. Kind of the same with Walker Buehler. They're both good, but this year the strikeouts not quite what they used to be. 18% K rate for Urias this season, corresponding with a 9% swing and strike rate. So there's reason to be pessimistic about his production today, or at least his upside, if nothing else. In this matchup against the Pirates, yeah, there's strikeouts built in here, and we saw Buehler get some strikeouts yesterday, and the matchup will give it to you sometimes. But I have been kind of low on Urias this season. One of the things I had been watching was his velocity develop, because starting the season he was like 2 miles below his average fastball, 91, and now we've seen that hit 93 plus, so that's a good sign, I think, trending in the right direction. But really hasn't been a ton of double-digit percentage strikeout, swing and strikeout rate, so I'm still kind of low on him. So if he comes in really, really high owned, I'm fine with kind of chilling there. And then also, as we somebody brought up in chat earlier, it's not like he's firing off 100 pitches a game or something like that. So yeah, I traded food stamps for cash to player props, and nobody judges me. Let's go, baby. Bro, you from my side of the train tracks. If you look on Facebook and see those two for one specials on food stamp sales, right? Oh man. All right, Urias 6.5, 6 innings last couple games. So without the and I would say, you know, if you're pitching more to contact, yeah, you're likelier to go deeper into games because you're saving pitches. But for fantasy, we like the strikeouts. So at 9,100, I'm looking for 25 plus, and I think this price point, I'm willing to invest that into, you know, more. That's a down payment on Kevin Gossman. Giolito's up there as well, so I'm less likely to get to a lot of Urias. I would probably have just a smidge here. I'd say if he comes in, and I haven't looked at ownership yet, but if he came in at sub 10%, maybe sub 15%, I'd grab a share or two just because of the spot. But if he comes in over that, I could just sit that one out and hope for the best. Mitch Keller, you did your thing, dog. That's going to be no for me. We're stacking Dodgers. Real quick, looking at what the Dodgers board is looking like. Betts, Trey Turner, Will Smith for total home runs. I'd rather just isolate Betts, grab his everything. This man he's just not normal. He's just different right now. You know, we not the same. We not the same. He's just on a different planet. 3 hits last night. This matchup, I like it. I like it a lot. So let's put. What do you guys want to do? You want to do his total basis, or you want to do his fantasy points? I guess we can nominate both. So let's do hitter fantasy, Mookie Betts over 8.5 FPS. We'll do his total bases, which I don't really do total bases that much, because I hate walks getting me screwed over. And like, if you get a walk and a stolen base, it doesn't, you know what I mean? So I usually just throw a net over the fantasy points, but I'll go 1.5 total bases. We'll do it. Trey Turner, 8 fantasy points. That's a fun one as well. He's more likely to walk and steal a base. Freddie Freeman's. All these guys are just like really solid clicks here, so I wouldn't mind stacking the Dodgers as a fantasy correlation. 5 strikeouts for Urias is pretty appropriate. Pitches thrown at 81.5. That does feel low for this matchup, because he has been going to like 88, 89. So I might dabble with the over because of how weak this spot is. But I won't. I'll just leave that alone for now. Anyway, that's what we got, chat. Chat, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I got to move out of the way. Let my boy Josh take over the airwaves. He's going to be talking some WNBA, I believe. I haven't got a DM from him, but I believe. And then what I'll do is all the stuff that I've typed up for props, I'll post it into free Discord. And then if I start adding some more bomb detector, all that stuff, I'll do that as well. And then real quick look at the bomb detector before we get out of here. I'll refresh it. Let's see who's at the top now that we've added a bunch of names. Cool. And then right after this, I'm going to the rundfs.com voice chat. If you guys want to be part of that, go to rundfs.com, click VIP memberships, click get anything, whatever you feel comfortable with, a week pass. That'll unlock the Discord, the spreadsheet, so you guys can use that spreadsheet for your research hiccup. And then let's get rid of the low samples here. Anyone with less than 10 innings, let's just remove them. We're still getting like big numbers here, but Mike Zunino, Patrick Wisdom, Danny Jansen, Paul Goldschmidt, bunch of Cardinals up here. So yeah, Pete Alonso's up here, really solid sample on both sides. Mookie Betts is up here, so yeah, I'm liking the Mookie numbers quite a bit. And then real quick for props, thinking Javier over 16.5 outs, Blue Jays White Sox under half a run first inning, first inning hits over 1.5, Yankees Angels Nats Mets Braves D-backs, strikeouts I'm going Kirby Gossman Javier on their overs, Mookie over 1.5 bases, Julio Rodriguez Ronald Acuna Mookie Betts over fantasy points, and then I'll take a shot at Charlie Morton over 1.5 walks. We cool with that? What happened? Yo, head too big, huh? We can't see the sheet. You can't see the sheet? Really? Well then, guess you gotta pay for it. I'm just kidding. All right. Anyway, I gotta get out of here, boys. I'll get on to Josh, man. You guys show Josh some love. It'll bring you straight to his stream in a little bit. That's going to be his first WNBA stream. I don't know if he has a guest or if he's solo. And then we'll try and get more WNBA PrizePicks content going forward. If you want to try PrizePicks, code GunDagger. If you want to try Underdog, code GunDagger. And remember, SeatGeek. Get on that SeatGeek if you're going to any of the games anytime soon. Use code GunDagger. I appreciate you making part of my day. Be part of your day. Tell somebody you love them, because I love you. Good luck. God bless. And go win some money.